Yeah, yeah. It's times like this um, that I guess I should say my name. This is Ron, and I'm not feeling so good. My head is swollen, my neck is swollen, my chest is swollen, and it hurts. I can't bend over to tie my shoes. No, I don't have pants on because I can't do that. So I can shuffle from one space to another space and pretend that I'm perfectly fine. But anyways, it's times like these moments that truly my heart just it just wants to pour out. All the things that I've known, discovered, and I write about every day. I just want to pour out and keep pouring out till it's all just all gone. It's given unto the world. And one of the things that's moved me today, not only the numbers, because today being the 5 day as a hand, that eight or the nine of the month with the eight creates the eight. Anything that stands with the nine is itself. So the emotion of September with the year power and control, the year being greater than, the power and control is upon the emotion. So we can overcome any emotional upsets that might come forward. And that power alone steps upon the day. And that five changes to a four, and now we have a door. We have a door to our heart. There's four chambers to our heart. It's hidden between the 88 if we knew about it. But that four, it's work and foundation. And so ultimately, within our work structure or our career structure, today is one of those days where we would have to control our emotions. Truly, I had difficulty. I could show you two videos that were created this morning that I cannot post because I myself couldn't contain my emotions. Oh, yeah. I was ranting and cussing and screaming and upset. I was upset. By the end of the video, my ears were just red. I was upset. And I realized that no, we control our emotions. We handle this. Maybe speaking to an empty screen, recording for my own posterity. I didn't post it. I probably would get in trouble for posting such things. But because I did it and I was able to release, it's like having a friend, someone to release your frustrations upon, talk about your feelings, your problems, cry on their shoulder. Yeah, that sort of thing. It works. It works. And it shouldn't cost you anything to do such a thing. No, because it's self-help. It releases what's been contained in within. So today I'm listening. I have been listening to Owens. Candace, please forgive me. My lungs jump when I talk. I've been listening to Candace Owens, and she had the Rabbi Shmuley interview. Now I watched her last broadcast, but apparently I didn't watch the entire Pierce Morgan uh, interview because this second video, episode number 59 of Candace Owens, uh, is just revealing so much more beyond the blood libel bullshit. And she might mention it again, but I had to stop it because I realized how pertinent this really is. It's everything I said in the beginning. I always believed that Judah is black because of us being spiritual Jerusalem, and that the captivity of 400 years, which is biblically sound, has been in place and is done, revealing its time. It's time for Judah to step up and receive, to get over the idol that was placed. I believe the idol was a weapon, like a gun, where before Judah worked with spears and bow and arrow, or dagger, or what have you, sword, the advent of the gun was like the advent of a small little god that you put a gun in a man's pocket and suddenly he ain't a man anymore. No. And that sort of thought comes through. You know what I mean? Can you recognize that? In time. To everyone, like having a cell phone is like a normal thing to have a gun. It's not an idol to them, but yet now it's replacing itself through the same process of what it gave them, power and control. And that's the eight. So the idol needs to be revealed. The idol of Nebuchadnezzar, of course, is the soul body for which we are but a parasite living off of a host body. The light is changing because Me-Moe's coming over. Okay, come on. There you go. He's so sweet. Anyways, and in the book of Revelation, and when we look at chapter 3, chapter 3, verse 9, there are those who call themselves Jews who are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan, who must throw themselves upon the feet of Judah. Now, when I first read that, it dawned on me right away that, and this is before the war, this is before Hamas or any of the like. Of course, it's within the same reasonability as the stupid ISIS, which is the crisis in the White House, or the Taliban, which it was all a matter of just cutting them off financially, and they don't exist anymore. Same thing. So this is pre-Israeli war bullshit. Yeah, and I always said that if Palestine would recognize Judah and invite them into their homes, that those who call themselves Jews, who are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan, would throw themselves upon their feet. And one of the things they would do for them, for Judah, is they would become a better servant for it if they could repent, if they could return unto the hand. Sorry, I tried to adjust the light since Me-Moe's done. Yeah, so if the American black man, Judah, yeah, the Hebrew Israelite, but with a redefining of why they too need to overcome this pre-programmed hate. Yeah, it's in the Bible. It's pre-programmed in there for you, and you took of it and you consumed it, and it was sweet in your mouth, but then it turned bitter in your belly, and it poured out as filth. Yeah, because it's not what goes in that defiles you; it's what comes out, which is part of today. We should be in control, if but by the hand. Yeah, to make a doorway, to make an opening. And that if the American black man, as Judah, were to go to Palestine in number, in mass, just show up, say, hey, we're here for the party, and we're here to help you, just like they did before, just like the Black Panthers did, just like the what were the name of the subway angels, the guardian angels in New York, to curb the violence that was going on. The same way, all you have to do is Palestine invites the black man into their home, and there would be an immediate ceasefire. And then there would be a table placed, and then answers would come through. And those filthy, filthy people would throw themselves down. They would. And as bankers and investors and the like, they would help Judah lift himself. Yeah, because all the nations would. All the nations would pour into Judah for such an answer, for such a crap place like Israel, false state, the beast of Revelation. 3 unclean spirits. It's in the Bible, and you put your hand upon it. You swear to obey, and your trust is in the people. to follow through, but you don't know what it says or what it means. It's so bizarre to me. So, anyways, listening to Candace Owens, and I haven't even heard the part with RFK yet. And I'm telling you, I could not ever stand to listen to RFK. It's like anybody that has polyps. I, Jonathan Kleck has it. A whole bunch of them have polyps in their throat. It creates some kind of jumble, like a vibration in their throat. And some men like to emphasize, like if it's giving them some sort of authority, it's really gross. And to me, it's polyps in the throat. Yeah, it's polyps, like Paul the apostate. Yeah, the chapter 13 guy, the head of the second beast, who was truly Jewish and was truly Rome all at once because he was a tax collector, because he was what? He was a publican. Yeah, because he was a publisher. Ooh, ooh, don't you know? Don't you know about history? Don't you know that history is not his story? That the living word will reveal it? And the truth in the language, the way, the truth, and the life? Yeah. So she's gonna get, Candace Owens is going to get attacked by uh, RFK Jr. because RFK Jr. has drinking the Kool-Aid. I knew the man was out there and wild, which is fine for the position that Trump's going to put him in. Go after those people. Be strong. Change our food for our children so that they don't put poisons and pesticides and things that cause such things as autism and adult that whatever ADD. I don't know the acronyms to them, but it's all spectrum related. It's all spectrum related. And of course, the cell phone itself is a portion to that spectrum because people can't communicate without it. And here I'm frustrated on how it works. Damn thing rings and I can't get it to answer. So I miss a call and I don't know what the hell it was. I don't know how to go back and tell me who called, show me who called, let me hear their voice. No, I won't do that. I think it's broken. I think there's something wrong with it. It was shipped in the mail to me. And so I've never actually had someone that uses a phone to try it out. They know what they're doing. They would tell me there's a glitch in the way this works, and oh, it's too sensitive on this, or it's just not functioning properly. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't belong to me. Maybe it's not an idol, and it's not going to respond to me. So I figured I'd turn on the video and talk a little bit, but it gives me great hope knowing that I have a terminal cancer. I have terminal cancer, and that 6 months is probably a little wild guess, but I don't think it's that long. It's been going on 6 months now, but it was going on for a long time untreated. And they say once treated, you could probably get to, if you're lucky, with my type of cancer, 2 years. So that's what I'm given is an idea of 2 years. If it works, I could live forever, right? For as long as I can. But in light of statistics, but I already know that it's advancing really fast, and it's not going to let up. So I was a little bit miffed today when I thought to myself, well, I should look ahead of myself and be wise. So I looked into where I should go to possibly receive assisted suicide, you know, and because I had brought it up to my PCP, which is connected to hospitals. So it's Memorial Family Medical Group. And they're actually on the premises of Memorial as well as my oncologist because I want it all together. And any one of them can pull up any x-ray or any diagnosis or lab work or anything like that. Any one of them can pull up my file and it's all there for them. There's none of this. We need to see the information from the other doctor. We'll have to talk to a person. They'll fax it over to us and bullshit. It's in the system. I love that. I truly love that. But I mentioned to the social worker, which is a Native American man who kind of gave me a difficult time at getting this phone because it's for Native Americans and other people who are of low income. But the other people don't qualify if you're not of the persuasion. But I pressured him and told him there's absolutely no way that any of this will work out if I don't get a phone in my hand to place appointments and to be called for whatever purpose. So I asked in front of the interns and doctor, my PCP, and the social worker about end of life care, palliative care, that sort of thing, hospice. But on top of it, I wanted to know about assisted suicide and end of life measures. And sorry, there's a very noisy train going by. It sounds like he's got a wheel that's locked up. It's screaming. Yeah, maybe he'll shut up. So, in the liberal world, we'd have to make him shut up, you know. But so I looked online today. Sorry, I'm breaking my thoughts because it's very difficult to express myself when I with so much pressure in the brain, so much pressure in the throat and in the chest. It's it's really hard to describe. So I looked it up today, and it turns out that legislation was passed in New Mexico in 2021. Well, that's not what they said to me when I asked my PCP and those interns and that social worker. No, 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 no. New Mexico doesn't have assisted suicide. No, 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 no. So, well, I don't know why you said that because my friend Natalie Green, she was euthanized in 2017. And so, as I looked it up, it turns out that that's when the legislation was first presented on the House floor, but it didn't go through. But for some reason or another, somehow she did. She got through. And she had to travel to Albuquerque to get it done. And I noticed that Arizona is also on the list and Colorado's on the list. And so I can only assume maybe she went to Colorado, but they were calling us from Albuquerque when it took place. It was about 3 hour drive. Well, I don't really want to drive somewhere to go die. No, I'd rather just do it right here and let them just dump me out there in the back end of the mesa out there where they bury the indigents. But I need to know what kind of cost I'm looking at. Does Medicaid cover such a thing? Obviously, it's federally funded, so I assume it would go through. And then also, is there assistance given as far as the burial portion, the practices? Because I don't want to be cremated. Please, I cannot stress enough that I'm not prepared to go into the fire, even if I'm the big tear. Even if I'm the big tear, I'm not bundled with the rest. No. If I walk through that fire, I'm coming out with vengeance. That's not who I'm supposed to be. No. So, anyways, yeah, so it's available here in New Mexico. I should be able to get it right here in Las Cruces, which they would give me the medication or whatever it is, you know. Maybe it's self-injected. I could put it through my port. Um, but I keep it here in the house, and it doesn't mean that I have to utilize it. It's just there for me. And it can let me go month to month, day to day, until the one day comes when I cannot take it anymore. When I cannot take it. when I am in the throes of the worst pain that Satan can conjure. Yeah, like an iron rod piercing my whole soul. And when that happens, because I've tasted it, I don't have to suffer through it for hours and hours and hours as my body gets torn within and beaten and dragged down to the point where I let go and I'm delivered unto God, unto the Almighty, unto the heavenly host, unto death itself, because it's the Lord who overcomes death and hell. So I'm in the Lord's hands. He has the whole world in his hands. He does. But he's in the grave. And if we should follow the Lamb wherever he goes, I can see no better place for me. So here I am shocked. So I have the information. I'm eligible. I looked through the list of eligibility. I'm eligible. And they offer other services that I've been complaining about, such as palliative, and not services so much as information, maybe connections as to who offers those services. Consideration of his tail. He never lifts his tail straight up. He's not like a normal cat. Always down. And then every so often he'll rub your leg and then his tail goes up. Or if you rub his back, just a little hump. So I guess that's when he was a baby. He lost his little tail. I mean, it's still a good tail. It's a fluffy tail. But and he chirps like that. He sounds pitiful. He's a little kitten that never grew up because I don't know. He looks big in the camera when he goes by, but he's not a normal sized cat. He's a little thing, a little itty bitty thing. He won't grow. He's so cute, Me-Moe. So I should do more videos with maybe the GoPro because then we could see him with the other cat and see him wrestle or something like that. You can see how small he is, Mr. Tough Guy. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and I'm going to link the Candace video in case you haven't caught it. This latest one, especially in light of RFK. Uh, yeah, he's a bit twisted. I'm sorry, and whatever's going on in here, and I'm sure that it was purely circumstantial, man. It sends up a sort of spiritual flag for me to my ears that it's almost like a grating mess. And for the whole idea that he swallowed the Kool-Aid, the Jim Jones Kool-Aid, uh, and accepted the synagogue of Satan, accepts the narrative that we're all anti-Semites, when you can clearly see that they're all Europeans. Well, and there's the Bedouin people that have integrated themselves. And then, of course, you run into quite a few variations from there because I've actually seen some Indonesian looking Jews and some Chinese looking Jews and some, well, it's just a religion, isn't it? A religion. For they are many, the beast, the false prophet, and the dragon, three unclean spirits, and they're all of the Abrahamic line. Yeah, and we know that through Abraham, there's like hello, there's a little bit of an issue I see. No, you just want to step on the keys. I just know you want to step on the keys. Don't do it. Hey, get on the bed. Here, come on. Go on. Go on. All right. Oh, he can hit the keys and start the videos and lock my computer up and do things that I have no idea what he's done. Um, and I have to wait till Jeff comes home sometimes to get him to reconfigure whatever it is that happened. I don't know what button got pushed, but he does that all the time. So I hope that comes through in some form. I'm not against RFK if he is for Trump. I'm not against anyone who is for Trump. If you are against Trump, you are antichrist. That's what it's telling us. Yeah, you are an antichrist. Now, I saw this video where someone was calling out uh, Jared Kushner as the Antichrist. Now, clearly he would be if he's against his father in law. Yeah, which means a lot more. And because Trump is the Christ child through his father, Frederick Christ Trump, and he's royalty through his mother, Mary Ann McLeod. So there's no question that he was the chosen one, the anointed cherubim of our day. There's nothing to be jealous of with this man. He's pure in his ways, in his heart, and in our own measurement of living, he's had to endure. He has. He has had to face the temptations, certainly. But the fact remains is he's an adult and he's an elder and he's wise and he didn't put us through the crap that the Democrats have put us through. And the very fact that Democrat would put the demon right up front of your face so you can't even see the apostle is the apostate that caused the great apostasy, as it all was all so apostolic. Can you see the root of the word is already there? They say A without a post of L. Certainly. It's not a disciple. It's not. It's a usurper. So we can go by what Paul says and say, hey, I didn't do anything to Stephen. No, I only watched. But it was because of Stephen that I changed my ways. Bullshit. You participated in it. And then you did a Rabbi Shmuley on it. And now you're doing the RFK through it when you need to wake up to what it is so that we can accept Judah, so Judah can step up, and the rest of the tribes can start to realize that we can lift Zion through this whole measurement. Yeah. Now, is it Zionism? Not in the capacity that you think, not considering the remnant kept is but a small number. Now, as far as Christianity, this is his reign on earth. It's not Muhammad's reign. No, it's the Christ's millennial reign. That's the dragon. And so those are that are of Caesar must be given unto Caesar. The Lord has already declared that. Revelation 11:15, the Lord and of his Christ. And it's speaking of, in chapter 11, the two witnesses. And we know that Yeshua, who was put to the grave, they suffered not to bury the body. No, Joseph of Arimathea did it. He was the rich man who stepped up. But we don't have the full truth because all we have is what? The shroud? The shroud of Turin? Yeah. Okay. So now they suffered not to bury the body as they rejoice and give unto each other gifts. Well, that's the Holy Spirit that they give unto each other by doing their little baptism ritual. Learned unto them, taught unto them while they were in the upper room with the Christ. They were on the road with him. They didn't recognize him. They were with him. Thomas stuck his finger in him. That's the Christ. And he's here. He's here. It's glorious. So if you're against Trump, you're an antichrist. There's no two ways about it. Trump is the dragon, Obama is the false prophet, and the beast is what left from the bush. The bush stems all the way back from JFK all the way back to the Nazis. Nazis. Yeah, the swindlers. The list of crossbones. Yeah, the SS. That's the Bush family legacy. And Aleister Crowley through JPL, which is NASA. So y'all are being programmed constantly, constantly groomed to accept the swine. Certainly. Equally. Oh, it's gross. It is gross, but it's rewarding for me to know that it's happening, even if I don't get to be here, to see its fulfillment and how it put me in a sort of despair to think that I failed Gabriel, that I couldn't bring the message forward, that I didn't have the appeal that everybody else had, that the word should go out, that the anointed one failed our Lord. No, but he hasn't. No, Trump is the anointed one. Yeah. And I myself anointed him. I did from the beginning, certainly. Yeah. So I love the dragon. I do. I love Donald Trump. And I love all that he covets as he loves all that he covets. Yeah. I can't be Antichrist as the son of perdition. No. And I do believe in the Lord, Yeshua, as he's in the grave, fulfilling 3 days, that he shall overcome death and hell. He's the righteous servant. I'm not. No, I only overcame sin. That's all. So I just wanted to share. I did. I wanted to share. And I'm sorry I'm not feeling good. I'm sorry that I believe that things are turning for the worst for me, but not for the nation, not for the world. And I did get the message out. And I did exercise that spirit unto God by throwing it in the fire constantly through smoke offerings, constantly. You know, I I I followed the living word to find it. And he's there in the grave, and I'll join him. Yeah, I think a lot of us have been joining him. I won't be the first. No, let us pray that I'm the last, and let that grave open up, and let Judah receive that crown that they've always had, that should never be taken from them. And if they should knock on the door of Palestine and introduce themselves, I believe that Palestine would invite them into their homes, and even give them space in their face. In whose face? Those who call themselves Jews who are not, those who are of the synagogue of Satan, when we know that the temple of Pergamum is the seat of Satan, and the Bible speaks of the seat of Satan often. Revelation speaks of it. We know of it. It's right there in your face. And that the whole story in contract is not what we were told. But if we listen and if we look, we can see the difference. We can see the difference. We can see Magog, the mother of Gog, of that sin of Gog. We can see her. Yeah. And she's cloaking herself in that EU expression of, oh, they've come upon us and we're in dire straits and what do we do? No, no, you already have an army in you. Germany already has an army. And sadly, it's in bed with Israel, which, as the beast, is false intelligence. It's the false state of intelligence itself. Of course it is. I don't deny the intelligence of a creature, an animal, a dog, a cat, a bird, a fish even. Even a fish has intelligence. But it's a false state of, for it to place itself like that. The animal kingdom doesn't do that. Only the beast does. Truly. And Islam as the false prophet, because Obama would represent that. And once a Muslim, always a Muslim. And how you can get beyond that is what? To be stoned or thrown off a building or to be stabbed or however violent measure they have for removing the truth. Yeah. And that which they hate. So they themselves have a problem. They can't even love their sister, let alone their brother. No, they can't. They defile women. I saw a video today with this young woman with a sort of a sports top and shorts and sneakers, and she's walking through nothing but Sharia in England. And she's looking at herself and she's looking around and she's panning the camera and she's walking. Oh my God. What on earth? Send those people home. Even in the Gospel of Mary, it says that everyone should return unto the root. They have to go home. Those worn-torn countries need those able-bodied, military-aged men and their little women that they cloak in black sheets, which is ridiculous. Why anybody would wear black in the desert is torture. Why would anybody want to torture someone like that? You notice all the men wear white and all the women wear black? Have you ever noticed that? But they're in the middle of the desert. Well, you try it, honey. That's just sickness. And the smell must be atrocious. I'm serious. How gross. Utterly gross. And yet I try to have that window open for peace for them, for perdition, to put them into it. Yeah. The remnant kept is so small. And yet the Christian in even its Pauline doctrine, who will find themselves as the multitude, are the generation and the regeneration that come. It is. That's what Revelation's all about. To regenerate the body, to bring us back into the wholeness and fitness of the creator, as the creation, and not the other way around. And that we could restore the body as we can restore the temple, which is the body, and then we can restore the family unit, the house, the greater house still, as the idols fall. And so truly something has to strike the sun. And that means that our infrastructure comes down, our monetary systems come down, and then we'll be in mayhem. We'll be in such horrid tribulation, like the likes of which we may not walk out of, except those who are especially chosen and protected, because even the elect should be lost. If Almighty Yah does not cut these days short. And I truly believe it has to do with nuclear bombs. One more year, in the 79th year of this year, July 16th, when Trump accepted his nomination and chose his VP pick, showing himself as the rider upon the white horse. And we know that that horse represents truth and righteousness. And that's the first